In this section, we're going to focus on exercises. As we mentioned earlier, a poor posture can affect your esteem and your mood. One of the great ways that you can affect that is by movement, and exercise is a great way to do that. So we're going to cover some exercises that you can do at home that focus on strengthening as well as flexibility. We also have some tools and resources that you can use to help track your progress, which you can download. We have our exercise tracker, and that's along with our food and mood diary and our menu planner and recipes. So this exercise is called the squat, and this is part of our strengthening series. And we're using a chair here because this is something that you can do at the office if you like. You can certainly do at home. We have the chair here so you don't go too low. And what you do with this is you're going to squat down, and the key here is you squat down. As you watch Charlotte, is that she's keeping her knees above her feet and keeping the curve in her back. Now she comes up and you're coming down. The advantage of having the chair there is that it's almost you want to just touch the chair. Just imagine that you've got an egg on there or a packet of crisps and you just want to touch it, you don't want it to pop. And then what you do is it's just, again, as you see what Charlotte's doing, is it's nice, even pace, coming back up. As you come down, that you're just breathing out. And you would do a repetition, build up to say 10 to 15, and you might do that 2 or 3 times. Okay, so this exercise is called a lunge. So this is part of our strengthening series. And what this is for is to help to strengthen through the front of the thigh, but also to help you to switch on the buttock muscles, as well as stretching the muscles at the front of the hip flexor. So Charlotte's going to demonstrate now. So right, and the leg goes back, excellent, and then coming forward. And so the important thing here is on the front foot is to keep the knee above the foot, and then coming down just gently, slowly. You don't have to go too low, and then as you're coming down, you're breathing out. And so what this is doing is stretching through the front of the thigh on the leg that's closest to the camera, and it's helping to activate the buttock muscle right on the leg that's coming out to the front. Excellent. Okay, this exercise is called the wall sit, and this is part of our strengthening series as well. Now, the point of this exercise is to activate the core. As we've described, a lot of people, when you're sitting down, we tend to switch these muscles off. So it's important to get connected back, connect your brain back to these abdominal muscles. So this can help you achieve that. So what you do, it's a bit like one of the skiing exercises, right? So if you just come a little higher, Charlotte, that's it, perfect. So it's not necessarily about how low you go. What it is you're leaning against the wall, and as you breathe in, you relax. As you breathe out, you bring your belly button back towards your spine and you tilt the pelvis back. So you're flattening your low back against the wall. And the important thing is to breathe. Okay, and you hold this for 2 minutes, 3 times a day. Now, if at any stage you're getting some pain in the knees, come up a little higher, and that applies to any of our exercises, such as the squats and the lunges. So you don't want to go so low that you start to get any pain in the knees. Now, as you do that, you'll hold that. It's very important to breathe. And just feel your body just relaxing, breathing into the diaphragm, and just activate those muscles and bring that belly button back towards the spine. And you can read a magazine, you can do something else so that you'll have a chat to someone on the phone, and as you do this exercise and integrate it into your day. And you should do this for 2 minutes, 3 times a day. Okay, this exercise is called a plank, which many may be familiar with, particularly if you do Pilates. What we're going to start off with is with the modified plank. And what this does is this, again, is a really good exercise for helping you to get aware of your core and integrate those tummy muscles in with your brain. Okay, so we're going to start off in the modified plank. This is a good place. If you're not experienced with the plank, this is a great place to start. Okay, so what you're doing is you're just gently resting. You've got the weight on your knees, and you'll see that what Charlotte has is she has her elbows just underneath her shoulders, right? And you want to keep your back as flat as possible, right? And so that everything is, again, like a plank. And focus on breathing into those core muscles, Right. Don't hold your breath. It's very important to breathe. And you might hold this up to a minute. And as you develop, you can increase the time up to a maximum of, I would say, 2 minutes. And it's, again, important to breathe, and it helps to be aware of those tummy muscles and keeping them activated. Don't let your tummy sag. So keep this straight. And as we said, it's about helping you become more aware of these very important postural muscles. Now, if you've had more experience, you might have done some Pilates, or you find that you're getting to 2 minutes and you're finding it not too much effort at all, you could try and go into the full plank. So the full plank, what we do is you curl your toes underneath, you straighten your legs, right, and then you drop down again, keeping everything in line, right, keeping the knees straight, and focus on activating your buttock muscles. Right? You can even bring your heels together, right? And that, again, same principle, keep breathing, keep aware of your tummy muscles, and keep your shoulders above your elbows. And for this one, you might find you work up to a minute, maybe a minute and a half. Okay, this exercise is also excellent for your abdominal muscles or your core and helping to stabilize, particularly through your pelvis. And we call this toe taps. So what you do is when you start off, you're nice and relaxed through your tummy muscles. You just bring your low back towards the floor, and then you bring up both knees or both legs, and you have your knees at 90 degrees. And what you do, alternating, you bring one foot down, tap the toe, and then bring it up, and then repeat. And then again, keep breathing, right? As you move, breathe out, and then breathe in as you bring the knees back up. And again, you can repeat this several times a side. You might do 10 repetitions on each side. Okay, this exercise is called the cat stretch. And so this is actually helping with flexibility and mobility, particularly through the spine. Earlier on we spoke about proprioception and how it's important to get the right amount of information coming into the brain, and so your body knows where you are. This is a great way to stimulate and get areas moving that don't usually move, particularly when you're sitting down. So what you do is when you first start, you're going to just let your tummy, your belly button come towards the floor. As you breathe out and as you breathe in, you're going to arch your back, dropping your head just like a cat, and just arching, just rounding the back. And then what you do, you go the other way as you breathe out and just arching. And then you repeat this. And just gently work into it, right? So that as you go, you might find that you'll get some more mobility as you progress. And you can perform as many repetitions as you like. So do it for 30 seconds to a minute, and just gently and working with your breath. So this exercise is called a crunch, which again, many of you may be familiar with. And what this does is great again for the abdominal muscles and helping to activate those. And the important thing is when you do this, just be mindful of your neck. So when you start, it's good just to have your hands just next to your temples, just gently. You don't need to put your hands in behind your neck. You breathe in. As you breathe out, you're just curling your body, your chin forward, and you're shortening the distance between your pelvis and your ribs as you breathe out, and then you relax back. So you'll come up probably so you get your shoulder blades, the end of your shoulder blades just off the ground. And again, just repeating, and it's important, just do it as many so that you feel the activity in the muscles, but you don't want to start losing your form. And so it might be that you only can do 4 or 5 and then build up to 10 to 15. Okay, this next exercise is to help to activate these muscles through the middle of the back, and particularly in through the shoulder blades, which many of us don't use when we're sitting down for a long period of time. And we call it pee on a fork, because what you'll see is Charlotte is holding her arms in a position just like a fork, and then we've got her head is the P. And so what she does, as she breathes in, she relaxes and breathes out, and you're bringing the elbows and squeezing the shoulder blades together. And then as you breathe out, just relax back down. So it's not about how high you go, right? Don't strain anything, but what you want to do is you want to feel these muscles activate. And a great way to do it as you start is to bring the shoulder blades, pinch them together, and then come up as you breathe out. And what that'll do is activate through here. Again, be careful if you're getting pain, particularly if you're getting pain in the low back, is just don't go quite so high. All right, if you find that you're getting pain, you do it at any stage, it's probably best to just relax and just, even if you just pinch your shoulder blades together and don't do the arching component unless it's comfortable. Okay, this exercise is what we call the yaw exercise. And this is great for getting mobility and helping to stretch and improve your flexibility, particularly through the shoulders and down through the pelvis. So you'll see that Charlotte's in this position. Where she starts is that the hips are at 90 degrees, lying on the side, the knees are at 90 degrees, you've got the knees on top of each other. All right, hands are out in front, clasped together. So you start with the breath in, and as you breathe out, Charlotte's going to open up her chest and bring that over, and so that you've got your shoulders open, and then you can keep the knee on top of each other, and you focus on breathing into the diaphragm or into the belly. And you hold this for 90 seconds, just relaxing and letting the body unwind. If you find that it's difficult to keep your knees on top of each other, you can use this hand to just rest on top of this knee and just to hold that down. And again, you don't have to get your hand onto the ground. If your hand is up in the air and you're feeling stretched, that is fine too. Just focus on breathing and letting it unwind. What you'll find is, as you hold it for that 90 seconds or a minute and a half, you'll find that will start, gravity will help to have that hand come closer to the ground as the chest helps to open up. Now, the thing is, with this, you'll do it on one side, swap to the other side and repeat. And you could do that. This is a great one to do in the morning and in the evening. So this exercise is called the Superman or the Superwoman for obvious reasons. It's a great one to help to stretch and open up your spine and your nervous system. You may remember that we did there's a sitting version that we covered earlier on. Now with this one, the home one, this is the full exercise, which is a fantastic one to do morning and evening. Now, it's very simple. You use a towel. If you want more stretch, make your towel roll larger. If you want less stretch, make it smaller. Or if you have a foam roller, it's something that you can use a foam roller along the length of the spine. So the key with this towel is to place it in between your shoulder blades along the length of the spine. And as you lay back, you just rest onto that, and then just be careful as you do the stretch that you don't arch the low back too much. Just bring the belly button gently back towards the spine to get your pelvis to a neutral position, and you put your hands together like so. So Charlotte will breathe in. As she breathes out, she's stretching the arms up above her head, right, and just feeling nice and gentle, and just feeling it stretch, and then activating the tummy muscles and just tilting that back. And you feel a fantastic, nice stretch out through the whole nervous system. And it's great because we're so used to doing this all day. It's great to open ourselves up. And you can just breathe and relax here. What I find is good is you bring the arms back up, right, and then repeat. So you breathe in, breathe out, stretched out, and you can repeat up to 20 times or as much as you feel is comfortable. It's a great one. Do it in the morning and the evening.